What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place,
Seen
that's
the
all.
same yin and yang, up and down when everything seemed to kamikaze. Got 100 pounds of bomb on me out on
Ambicioso.
There's a devil.
yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin
Man,
and yang, up
messing
and
up the
down,
intro.
everything seem to change. Yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin and yang, up and down, everything seem to
The
change.
time is now, no bezel. I am God, the flesh is just a vessel. Last war be standing after the smoke settle. Word wizardry, and none of y'all's on my level. Religious dickheads live on their knees looking to the sky. I put a hole between your two ears, piercing your third eye. Now the static in your attic, watching your soul fly. At nighttime I can hear so many souls cry. What's illegal is said to be a crime, but what's legal is more criminal than a convict's mind. Racist ideology, separatist paradigm. The yin and yang is a duality in my slang. When you battle the god, you're pissing in the wind, cutting off heads with words that come from within. Some say it's the ancestors I'm tapping in, or harness evil spirits from a jinn. It's just pure skills. Listen to my frequency as the god builds. No mason, but stack bricks up to the gills. Tartarian skills, pulling from the ether aura of Earth's energy field. Yield, slow down and pump your brakes. Knowledge is wisdom and self, I put faith. To pray to a stranger, to me it's just a waste. I am God, one and only soul controller. My heart is more cold when I'm sober. If you think you have a fighting chance, it's over. I come crashing down like a landslide of boulders.
Yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin and yang, up and down, everything seem to change. Yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin and yang, up and down, everything seem to change. Yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin and yang, up and down, when everything seem to change. Kamikaze. Got 100 pounds of bomb on me out on Bible. If you sell it to me, you would die holy. I know creatures whose features change, shape shift, and the next day they don't look the same. I think we're pawns in this crooked game. I fill my heart with joy, but where do I put the pain? Where was my morals when I was pushing cane? In the gang doing 2 a days. If you a slave, it's because the system you behave. A beehive is a replica of the brain. A ant built the pyramids before the humans came. And a woman, the sun is furthest away. In the summer, the lightning comes before the thunder. Nothing comes before the mother. Moving cane don't make you able to turn on your brother. I got a magazine, don't make me put you on the cover. Yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin and yang, up and down, everything seem to change. Yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin and yang, up and down, everything seem to change. Yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin and yang, up and down, everything seem to change. Yin and yang, seasons change, everything seem the same. Yin and yang, up and down, everything seem to change.
Peace. I went live early. I couldn't wait. 10:30. So I was going through a bunch of pictures. At the end of the Lilith, I am going to most likely open the panel, and then I have a bunch of pictures I found of them digging out. I think it was digging out Rome. But either way, it definitely shows we live on top of a buried civilization from mud flood or whatever people want to call it. It's about 13 pictures. Yeah, the excavation of Rome. And it shows the underworld for sure. I have just about 20 interesting pictures at the end. But there's a lot in the book of Lilith that you know, and I found this picture right here. And you know, the true question is, was Lilith the serpent in the tree? As you see in this picture, it's not Satan. And I've heard of the concept of Lilith being the serpent in the garden who deceived Eve, and it wasn't Satan. I think Satan, it's confusing because they use both Satan and Lilith. I've heard two different versions. And the real question is, what's the real version? And what's real anyway in all this? If it is real, right? And what the fuck does it mean? Because most people know it's coded. Peace, Dom. What's Namaskar? If I even said that right. But yeah. And if people have any questions, we can look anything up. Do something a little different today. And really take that picture off. Hopefully everyone could see this. Let me make this bigger. Shit, I have questions myself about a lot of this, let alone everyone else asking questions. So maybe people can... It says the origins. Lilith's origins are shrouded in the time before time. She arose from the chaos. Although there are many myths of her beginnings, all make clear that she is a counterforce, a balancing factor, an opposite but equal weight to God's goodness and maleness. So they made it clear that God's maleness, right? As always, they say God's a man. So what's up with this God creating all these females? Like God don't have sex? I mean, God creates all these beautiful females to just look at? I mean, what's going on here? So she existed before time existed. So they say, if I'm not mistaken, let me see, we're gonna make this official and go by their doctrines. I know a lot of people don't like hearing about the Bible, but hey, that's alright. Because guess what? I like the Book of Lilith. Dude. So they say Lilith is the first wife of Adam. We know that much. I'm looking it up here, but most people already knew that. So they even said Lilith has been used to explain the two contradictory versions of creation. Interesting now how they say that, right? If this was 15 years ago, they wouldn't say contradictory versions of the Bible. But now people are catching on to the hypocritical stuff. They got to mention it. This is like Adam, Lilith was created from the dust of the earth, making them equal to one another. And if people remember, Lilith also stated she didn't want to be of the flesh because the flesh is a prison for the spirit, which I thought was very interesting. From what I read, she was one of the last people to accept the flesh, or to withstand. Now, when I read this, it interested me. It says in the beginning, right? According to the Zohar, Killer Priest had an album called The Book of Zohar. I never knew what Zohar was. So, we're going to find out right now, because I still to this day don't know who Zohar is, but obviously Zohar is something important because Killer Priest made a damn album called The Book of Zohar. Oh, thanks, Dominic, for breaking that down. The meaning of Namaskar. I'm saying that right. I bow to the divinity in you. Candy says, I believe the actual version of the Garden of Eve story is all about the coming together of two energies into one physical body. I see it like positive, negative energy into one body. Adam and creating her seeds, but she didn't care about her. Well, I don't know if she didn't care. It didn't say that, but she chose for God. Had two ultimatums for her. And she either would go back with Adam, be miserable, or God would kill her babies. I forgot the exact number and how, but she chose for God to do that. And like I've mentioned before, it's wild how this God just always involves the children. Out of any ultimatum, as I said before, it's always the children, it seems. What the heck was I gonna do? I don't remember now. I got sidetracked. Oh, the Book of Zohar, okay. Find out who's Zohar. Sounds like a wizard. Zohar. Let's see. Good old King James. Flutterer. Zohar, father of Ephraim. Alright, let's go to Wikipedia. They always show a lot of Jewish pictures and writings. The Zohar, Hebrew. Oh, it's a foundational work of Kabbalistic literature. It is a group of books including commentary on the mystical aspects of the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, and scriptural interpretations, as well as material on mysticism, mythical cosmogony, and mystical psychology. The Zohar contains discussions of the nature of God, the origin and structure of the universe, the nature of souls, redemption, the relationship of ego to darkness, and true self to the light of the Creator. Interesting. I might have to look into the book of Zohar one day. Now we know who Zohar is. It says, according to God made 2 great lights. The 2 lights ascended together with the same dignity. The moon, however, was not at ease with the sun, and in fact each felt mortified by the other. The moon said, Where dost thou pasture? The sun said, Where dost thou make thy flock to rest at noon? Don't these people speak English? How can a little candle shine at midday? God thereupon said to her, Go and diminish thyself. She felt humiliated and said, Why should I be as one that veileth herself? God then said, Go thy way forth in the footsteps of the flock. Now, why would they say that to a moon? Thereupon she diminishes herself so as to be head of the lower ranks. Is that why the sun's a lesser light? I mean, the moon's a lesser light. That's what it means, diminish herself. From that time, she has had no light of her own, but derives her light from the sun. No. At first, they were on an equality, but afterward, she diminished herself among all those grades of hers, although she is still head of them. When the moon was in connection with the sun, she was luminous. But as soon as she separated from the sun and was assigned the charge of her own host, she reduced her status and her light, and shells upon shells were created for covering the brain, and all for the benefit of the brain. After the primordial light was withdrawn, there was created a membrane for the marrow, a khalifa, husk or shell, and this khalifa expanded and produced another, who was Lilith. So we see that in the beginning the sun and moon were equal in dignity. The Zohar explains how the origins of the moon caused her to seek to merge with the sun. Would that be an eclipse? Or is that the male and female coming together, like Candy said, and creating another? He summoned to issue from the side of darkness a kind of female moon, which rules the night and is called night, and is associated with Adonai, the Lord of all the earth. The left, the side of the darkness, flamed forth with its full power, producing at all points of a kind of reflection. And from this fiery flame came forth the female moon-like essence, just as it is the desire darkness to merge itself in light. So it is the desire of night to merge itself in day. All this is brought out in the book of Adam. It says there that when darkness asserted itself, it did so with fury. But as soon as the wrath and the fury abated, there arose a quarrel of another kind, to wit, a quarrel of love. God, to settle the discord between moon and sun, caused the separation. He caused the moon to diminish herself and go forth in the footsteps of the flock at the head of the lower ranks. It is fit and proper that the two lights should rule, the greater light by day and the lesser light by night. Thus the dominion of the day belongs to the male and the dominion of the night to the female. There are two kinds of luminaries. Those which ascend above are called luminaries of light, and those which descend below are called luminaries of fire. You got this picture. Here we go. God. Shells upon shells covering the brain from the light. You know the Buddha's head. Them shells, snail shells to protect him from the sun. Peace be, maggot. Ha 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 ha. Oh man. Yeah, I agree, Candy. Alright. I ain't even gonna lie. A lot of the stuff we just read, I was like, what? So I think they're just telling a story. Settled the discord between the moon and sun. So Lilith had an issue with who? Is Adam the sun? Or is God the sun? They're going to talk about this figure now. Figure 1. Here the sun and moon, male and female, do battle. An encounter of opposites, which each opposing principle containing its opposite. Hence the shields. Look at this dude's name, man. Zentral Bibliothek. Although both luminaries continue to rule, the moon clearly feels herself to be diminished. But why? People say the sun is more powerful, but what people don't admit is the moon shines in the day and the night. She might be the lesser light in the day, but she's still shining bright. The sun don't exist at night, but the moon does. The moon shines regardless. Yeah, the sun shines bright, but it don't shine at night. It drowns out the dark, but Um, the moon could walk in the day and the night. The moon's a day walker. Although both luminaries continue to rule, the moon clearly feels herself to be diminished. God's intervention in her lover's quarrel robs her and her freedom of choice. As a result of the moon's diminishment, the Khalifa, or husk of evil, that is Lilith, was born. I'm not going to ignore that. Husk of evil. That's the Khalifa. So Lilith was born from a husk of evil. It is said that Lilith has the body of a beautiful woman from head to the navel. So what happens below the navel? She got freaking donkey feet. But from the navel down, she is a flaming fire. Oh man, she got burnt. Shit. It's not good, man. She's flaming down there. From these Zoharic myths, we see that Lilith's energy is derived from the resentment and diminishment of the moon. It is dark and fiery and of the night. The Zohar offers detailed instructions for deepening consciousness and individuation through knowing Lilith and her nature. The following passage, the analogy, is drawn between Lilith and the husk of evil, or the dark feminine side of the self that appears to men and women at night in their dreams. The passage explains how successive encounters with the transpersonal shadow in its dark feminine form are necessary for the permanence of the world. This is similar to Jung's view that God wants to be born in the flame of man's consciousness, leaping ever high. And what if this has no roots? In the earth, if it is not a house of stone where the fire of God can dwell, but a wretched straw hut, knowledge of this Lilith shadow is necessary for strengthening man's ego and creating a balance for ego self-axis. Building a house of stone for man's consciousness. King Solomon, the children of An, when he penetrated into the depths of the nut garden. So this SS book, Songs, I forgot what the other S was. Songs, it's up here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Songs of Songs. Oops, I went too far. Alright, King Solomon, when he penetrated into the depths of the nut garden. Huh, interesting. Took a nutshell, a Khalifa, and drew an analogy from its layers to these spirits. Lilith, which inspires sensual desires in human beings, and the pleasures in which men indulge in the time of sleep. And it does. I did read about Lilith doing stuff with men in their sleep. And that's how I think she gave birth to her demonic children, it says. At least some of them, maybe. The holy found it necessary to create all these things in the world to ensure its permanence, so that there should be, as it were, a brain with many membranes encircling it. The whole world is constructed on this principle, upper and lower, from the first mystic point up to the furthest removed of all the stages. There are all coverings one to another, brain within brain and spirit within spirit, so that one is a shell to another, like an onion. The primal point is the innermost light of a translucency, tenuity, and purity passing comprehension. The extension of that point becomes a palace, heckle, which forms a vestment for that point with a radiance, which is still unknowable on account of its translucency. The palace, which is the vestment for that unknowable point, is also a radiance, which cannot be comprehended, yet with all less subtle and translucent than the primal mystic point. This palace extends into the primal light, which is a vestment for it. From this point, there is extension after extension, each one forming a vestment to the other, being in the relation of membrane and brain to one another. Although at first a vestment, each stage becomes a brain to the next stage. The same process takes place below, so that on this model, man in this world combines brain and shell, spirit and body, all for the better ordering of the world. When the moon was in connection with the sun, she was luminous, but as soon as she separated from the sun and was assigned the charge of her own hosts, she reduced her status and her light, and shells upon shells were created for covering the brain, and all for the benefit of the brain. The familiar marriage. Quaternio diagram underlies several of the Kabbalistic myths of Lilith's origins. Lilith is said to arise from the power aspect of the God, gold, oil, and drugs. No, I'm joking. From the side of stern judgment and punishment, the Gevura or Din, the stern, punitive aspect of God, has at its lowest manifestation some affinity with the realm of evil called the dregs of the wine, from which Lilith emerged together with Samuel, the devil. So one of the children of El is the devil, Samael. Huh. Samael. I'm looking in the chat. People are wondering why I stopped. There's nothing wrong with sex. That's so funny about churches. I've heard where Adam and Eve were brother and sister, and they had sex, and that's what screwed everything up. Mr. All-Knower should have known that. The Almighty know everything. Peace, Alchemist 83, Kimba, Yuma, Phoenix, and Jay Heighton. Adam and Steve. Yeah, probably, man. Who the heck knows? Anyway. The dregs of the wine. What the hell do they mean by that? Dreg. What the heck is a dreg? We're gonna find out. The remnants of a liquid left in a container, together with any sediment or grounds, coffee dregs. Huh. So Lilith formed out of a sediment container, or out of the sediment of a container, more or less. Mystery of mysteries. Out of the power glow of Isaac's noon, out of the dregs of the wine, there emerged an intertwined shoot which comprises both of the male and female. They are red like the rose, and they spread out into several sides and pass. The male is called Samael, and his female Lilith is always contained in him. Just as in the side of holiness, so in the other evil side as well. Male and female are contained in one another. The female of Samael is called serpent, woman of harlotry, end of all flesh, end of day. So the woman is the serpent energy. Somebody explain how that is. Huma, you're tripping. I didn't say nothing bad about Lilith. Peace, Christos is in here. I try to belittle someone. Some people be tripping. Oh, it's not all good energy. It's obvious whom I didn't see the last videos I did about Lilith. But anyway. I belittle people every day. That's funny. I'm a belittler. The peers are God and his indwelling feminine aspect, the Shekinah above, and Samael the devil, containing Lilith within him. Below, thus Lilith arising from the diminution, diminution of the moon, cast out of heaven. The neglected, rejected, feminine quality becomes the bride of the devil. You know, they do reflect Lilith very negative in all this. They do that a lot with females in religion. Lilith is something of a renegade instinct sent by God, really, to exist in the lower regions in relation to humankind. Men experience her as a seductive witch, the death-dealing succubus, and the strangling mother. For women, she is the dark shadow of the self that is married to the devil. I thought the devil's the diva. It is through knowing Lilith and her consort that one becomes conscious of one's self. In an early work which antedates the Zohar by a few decades, Lilith and Samael are said to have been born by an emanation from beneath the throne of glory. Of an androgynous, double-faced being, corresponding in the spiritual realm to the birth of Adam and Eve, who too were born as a hermaphrodite. The two androgynous twin couples not only resemble each other, but both were like the image of what is above, that is, reproduced in a visible form, the image of the androgynous deity. That's what I'm trying to figure out, Kimbo. if you know, just because this book says that about Lilith. Like I said before, you know, people look at Lilith in a bad way, right? Out of all the ultimatums God could have gave her, you either go back with Adam. We don't know if Adam was abusive or what Adam did to Lilith, right? I look at it in a real life aspect. She obviously didn't want to go back with Adam. But if you had to choose, you go back, be miserable with Adam, or God takes your children. It must have been pretty bad for her to not want to go back. So you got to choose from a lose-lose situation. Yeah, this androgynous shit's confusing, man. What does androgynous mean? Because every person allegedly has male and female in them, no? Wouldn't that be androgynous? Or is it because you have two, a male and female part? Yeah, that's what it said in the beginning, B. Well, it didn't say. Like, I don't claim to be a master at the Bible. That's why I'm reading this. See if people can help me out with it. To be honest, like, I don't claim to be no Bible thumper. I know all 7,690 books. You know, just when I think good of someone, they say certain shit, man, and it's like, damn. It's like you think something of someone until they bring their negative energy here. Ha 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 ha. It's a hard path like digging a well with your bare hands because your asshole boss has a drill. I would like for that person to explain how I belittle people every day. That's hilarious. You could tell when somebody don't watch your videos. It's always someone that don't know shit about you that opens their mouth. They don't know you from Adam. 1 hour videos and think they know who you are. The soul of everything, every living creature. I'm gonna leave it here. Like, I don't even care to go on. I gotta look into this book of Zohar and see if I could align some Lilith stuff. Sometimes I get sick and tired of people's ignorance. Take a deep breath before I fall. Hey. What time are you going live, Dom, at Axis? I would like to go by there and listen to what you guys got to talk about. Yeah, I'm subbed to Axis channel, I think. I think so. Pretty sure I am. I'm not going to like read chapter after chapter because I know people don't want to hear that shit, and I sure as hell don't feel like reading chapter after chapter. And I mean, it seems these books and belittle Lilith on her own. I'm still trying to figure out why God is mad at Lilith. It didn't explain too much. I'm still crackling. I shouldn't be crackling now. These are a bunch of pictures. It didn't work with full screen. Now I shouldn't be crackling. These pictures are allegedly the excavation of Rome. I found a whole bunch of them, which show a lot of interesting. I'm not too interested in, like, you know, it could be anywhere. I'm just interested in what they're finding, and that it's so far below the dirt, which kind of proves something happened. Dirt just don't, unless they buried it. I would love to have some breakdowns, Dominic, but you know, it requires somebody that is, you know, I would love to hear some stuff, but like I said, I'm not a master in that area, and when it comes to that type of stuff, I would just listen because I really don't. I'm not a master in that area, and that's what I mean. Peace, London. That's what I mean about the Bible. I need someone that teaches it correctly and doesn't sell you a fucking dream like a preacher. A lot of this stuff's coded for an average person when it. For some reason, you know, I'm interested in the book of Lilith. These people, like, I can't really see what that is, but they dug something up. That's pretty big. Some of these pictures are pretty bad. It looks like they're digging up some old neighborhood or something where these buildings went to crap. So they probably were knocking them down and digging new foundations or something, and they found this stuff. I mean, even this. How old do you think that piping is? You know, was this piping a part of the New World, as you see there, and how they got these walls holding that piping up? Or was that the basement of a building? You could see in the back part that broken column. Oh, shit. I mean, look at that mosaic floor. I wonder how far under the ground they dug this stuff up, man. Probably enough for... First, I gotta look on the map to see where Rome is at, number one. To determine where the hell this mud came from. Because if you look at the US, it almost looks like the mud came from the north and it came downward. You know, maybe these people had underground plumbing and all that. That's what it looks like. Because I've seen an excuse, or I don't know what it is, but they showed pictures. Someone had a video on how there's this castle and people were pooping out the window into the streets. All their stuff was getting thrown. And they had to move out of the castle because the smell was so bad. How true that is, I don't know. Maybe that's their excuse of explaining away why there's no toilets in these castles. Right? Even though I'm way off track, but I seen some video on that and it was uh now how true this is. When I first seen this picture, my question was, damn, them statues are pretty dang white for being buried. They must be marble or something. Or something that could weather the storm. To be underground. Who knows how long. The student is ready, but the teachers are here. They're not teaching. A lot of the teachers are misteaching. That's why we're in this position. We need more teachers like Dominic, even though Dom says that's not his place. Which experience is the best way to learn? I am just a student. Alright, well, you're a student that knows a lot. Shit, this is an interesting picture here. They even got train tracks going into these tunnels, and I don't know if these train tracks already existed like that, or they added them in to pull stuff out. Probably they added them. Because it kind of looks difficult to maneuver in those tunnels with a cart. You would have to duck down. Damn, that's pretty far underground. Fuck, was there a fucking tsunami of mud? Talk about a flood. It don't look like there's anything for miles around here. But yeah. Hold on. All right. Can everyone hear me? I switched over. That's that.
Yeah, like roots. Maggot. What's up, Bex? Good to see you
Mic
here.
check. Mic check. Good to see you too, Charles. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good, good. I didn't catch all of your reading this morning. I just caught the end of it in your slideshow because it's only, just after
Yeah,
8 o'clock here.
I was gonna keep going, but I let somebody's ignorance get to me.
Mm. Mm. I missed that.
Certain comments people say, it just blows my mind.
Mm.
I thought highly of this person until they went and opened their mouth. They stated something that makes no sense. I'm not even gonna get into it. I kind of did enter my live stream today in a 50-50 mind state of in a good mood and in a bad mood at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, just look at my face. This is how I feel all the time. Kind of good, kind of bad. Like, yeah, I trust you, but I think you're suspect, right? Just look at my face. Yeah, yeah.
Trying to find what was said, but I'm going back. Let me see if I can find it. No,
What
it's
happened
not
to you,
here.
Bex? What happened to you, Bex?
Where'd it
I'm
go?
right here. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, I thought I caught a glimpse of you on
Maybe it got
on
erased.
Venus channel. You were actually cooperating with Venus on her channel. I was like, oh, this, I must be.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have absolutely no desire to talk about most people, and especially not that person. To be honest, I've been gone for 2.5 weeks, and the better part, 3 months.
But I saw
right?
you talking. I saw.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I don't even. I have absolutely zero desire to address absolutely anything about anyone who needs serious psychiatric help.
So, but you.
I haven't talked to that person in weeks, and I have no desire to talk about her. End of story, Voy. Let's move on.
Okay. So, but
Okay,
you can't,
seriously, this isn't a small
you
town. This is a.
I'm not about that kind of thing at all.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying let's just move it along. I haven't talked to Charles in what feels like months. The last thing I want to talk about is that. You know what I'm saying? I have 1,000 million brilliant things in my mind. I don't need to talk about people. Thank you.
I'm not even gonna say I'm sorry, but I think you have a very.
You don't need to be sorry. You don't need to be sorry, and we're not arguing. Okay. Boy, I haven't seen you in weeks. Are you drunk at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
Your reaction is very peculiar. I didn't want to say I'm sorry. I'm just going to say your reaction is very peculiar and emotional. You could also say that she played a video that was from a while ago, because I think that is what you're trying to allude to, but you didn't say that. That's all I had to say, Bex. I don't need that many words.
Bex jumped down. She's gone.
Yeah, well, sorry. I just had a question, and she got a very emotional reaction. So
I stepped away. I went to get coffee. I don't know.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Dude, tell me how many times that has happened.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I seen you guys talking, so I walked away. I was like, let me go get some coffee. Perfect time. And I walk away and come back. And I missed the whole thing. I don't know.
No, yeah. I don't want to make a thing out of it. Hey, be what is. I remember good, just like
What?
I remember be what is. We had some good conversations. So.
What's the definition of belittle? Somebody in the chat says I belittle people every day. Please, I wish that person was still here to really explain that.
Belittle is like being, how do you say, belligerent and
Downing someone.
Condescending. Belligerent and condescending.
So, man, I'm the least channel that does that. I try to accept everyone.
You're pretty much of a gentleman. Yeah.
They must be mistaking me for another channel.
No, you're a very gentleman, Charles.
I try.
Well, you prefer. I mean,
I used to be a very violent man.
Oh.
That's how I learned to calm down. Not violent as in uncontrolled, but I was a very angry young man. And the only person I was angry at was myself within. So I was always in a miserable mood, but I've learned to turn that around and be humble through experience, which is the best way. Yeah, I know, Kimbo. That's why sometimes I regret being nice. And then it's like when you're nice and people want to walk on you and talk about you, they're trying to pull that out of you. And then when they pull it out, then you're the asshole, right? And you're the fucking piece of shit. So I try not to play these games. Like, the person obviously left that said that. I don't even want to say their name because I thought good of that person. I still do. Maybe they were in a bad mood and mistaking me for someone else, but yeah, whatever.
Did you find the comment, Charles? I missed it.
No.
Okay.
I looked and it's gone. Maybe someone took it out because I did say that the negative energy is kind of. Then I was thinking, why do I let that shit bother me? Well, And
just to be clear, I want to be clear.
To their opinion.
Exactly, and I want to be clear, and without addressing what just happened directly, I've been 3.5 months, close to 3.5, 4 months, moving away from this app. I have been content.
No, you're lying.
I'm talking to
boy. It's not been
boy.
3.5 months. I've seen you being active. Don't try to fuck me up.
I have been. My stats are down 75%. Excuse me. Why do you think you can call me out like you wouldn't call other people out?
Let you go. I will let you have your stage.
Everybody.
Thank you. I came to see Charles, you weirdo.
How do you call this? Diva time, right? Just do it.
And greetings, everybody.
You call it diva time. Have it.
Boy, I haven't talked to Charles in close to a month, okay? So just give me a minute here. And people calling me out on the fact that I've barely been online is not your role, boy. Okay? I have been living my real life, doing real life comedy. I came up to talk to Charles and to you guys about my life, not about some meta drama I haven't paid attention to in weeks. And if you want to act like I'm snooping around like some little mouse or whatever, I have a whole new account. Yeah, my account is down. Because I'm 5 months into being the object of 210 to 250 people's fucking hatred. And I'm done. So you want to sit there and act like you know what I've been doing or where I've been. I'm sorry, Charles. I came over here just to say hi to Charles and to talk about my life and ideas, not people online. Okay, boy? So why you think you're my father or why you think you want to make drama over here at Charles is ridiculous. Okay? And I was going to hop up anyways. I'm not going to do this very often, Charles, because it's just not worth it. Right? I don't need to answer to 250 fucking people that watch content and mock me for fun.
You're just lying. You're just lying.
Oh my God. Are you drunk, Voy? Do you guys see this? Do I owe Voy something more than I owe someone else?
No.
Is it just a male-female dynamic? Is that what this is, Voy, to you?
No.
Who the fuck are you to me? Who the fuck are you to me? So it's okay. Get your content for your fucking friends. Bye. Bye. I won't be back. I won't be back.
So when I say that you're lying, you're calling this on me being a drunk, or me being a male, and you being female, and you being undrunk?
I don't think Boy's drunk.
You step away. You're just lying, Bex.
Boy, 1 sec. It's B.
Sorry, yeah.
Hey, yeah, I jumped up here because I saw Voy and Bex was on, and I really enjoy hearing the two of you independently and together. But yeah, if you guys aren't going to be up, I'm on day 5 of a fast, so I'm like super psycho, and StreamYard works a lot better than YouTube while I'm out in the field. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's really good to hear both of you.
And you're on your 5th day, bro? That's real good.
No,
Congratulations to that, bro.
Thank you. But yeah, part of that is, you know, I really do appreciate hearing both of your perspectives and the way you say them. Yeah. So peace and love to you guys and gals.
Yeah, there's always, I don't know.
Listen,
I get what she's saying about the drama, but that's what comes with YouTube. I've come to learn that's just what you got to accept, man. It's when you have a platform, I don't. Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Yeah.
If somebody, like I say, comes in here and says, "Fuck you, Chuck. You're this, you're that," they're entitled to that opinion.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, I mean, that just shows your, how do you say, your big spirit, dude, Chuck. Just saying that and actually performing that. You know, you don't just say that; you actually do that in the platform that I know you on, right? Here in this little fringe channel that you have and I have, Be What Is has, and Kimba and Alkimo, we're all tiny channels, same as Bex, you know. Just
I understand why Bex canceled her channel,
yeah,
and to be honest, that's one reason why I don't go to a lot of people's channels, because I don't like. I remember London Man said one wise thing, and it always stuck with me. He goes, when you go to other channels, you're gonna attract, excuse me, you're gonna step in mud. You're gonna bring them tracks and that mud back to your channel. People are going to, that don't like you will follow you and bring nothing but negativity. That's why I just stay in my lane and support people who show love and support me back. You know, I don't want to attract a bunch of haters. They're welcome to come here, but I'm not going to go look for it. People, I don't know. I appreciate Bex.
I do too.
But
yeah.
And it sucks that, you know, Bex goes through what she goes through. I wanted to hear about her comedy. She said she was doing comedy. Comedy reminds me of my craft, writing music. I just haven't been enthusiastic. Like I finished my verse yesterday, and I started to lay it down, and then, you know, I just can't pick a beat, and I have excuses, man. I see it. I'm just making excuses, not just doing it. I got everything ready to go. I could have laid my verse down last night, but I had 100 excuses. I'll do it tomorrow. I don't like the beat. I got a lot of shit going in my life too that ain't going good, but I just don't talk about it.
No, you know, it's private life, you know, and it's like, I mean, we can share some of it, but not, you know, should keep it.
I try not to do the why me shit, because I sit here and think, like, as much as people do good in this realm, it seems the good people, even when you think positive and you project, for some reason, man, life is still shit. And I think, is it me? You know, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I try to fix it, but
It's funny that Candy says that she wanted to hear Bex and Voy wouldn't even let her speak. I think she stepped away, and I think that I told her this is what I have to say, and now I'm going to be quiet. So again, you are wrong, or you're lying, or you're wrong. But you can play back and review what actually happened.
So
Okay.
we have,
I
as
don't.
men have the ability to increase tonality and volume. We can also start to use very harsh language. So that automatically shuts down the feminine, just like women can project negative emotions at men and automatically shut down the masculine. So when people use
Right.
these things as a cheat code in real life, it's not fair and it doesn't have a positive outcome.
Good point. Be what it. Thank you for pointing that
deep.
out. Yeah, it's a good point. Good point.
And we as men are the dumb ones that can't really see everything first until it's spelled out for us. So never underestimate the power of human stupidity as well.
Oh, it's endless, dude. It's endless. it's like it's more endless than a fictional space.
I told her to come back. Anyway, peace face plant. I gotta see if I'm subbed to Access channel. Pretty sure I am. I like when Access pointed out that, I forgot how he said it, man, but it sat with me. He said, I think he put it, he don't subscribe to any religion, right? But he gets something out of all the books. And that's kind of how I see it. I can pull something good out of something bad. You could do it vice versa too. But
Oh, wow. People. So there's like Candy and Kimba is blaming me for the drama. I like that. I love that. Yeah. Make
I
a
agree
video.
with that. Everyone can have an opinion, but it doesn't have to be accepted. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I want to, you know, I love it that you two, like Kimba and Candy, agree in chat. I love it. You're talking about me. I'm doing the drama here. So yeah, I'm totally taking this in and taking notes, and I think I'm gonna work on it. Do you want me to do more drama or less? Since you've diagnosed me as being the drama procurator or progenerator. Oh, you're gonna go. You're gonna go now. You're gonna go now, Kimba. Now, just now that I said that you were being so good in defining me, you're gonna go. Oh, that's peculiar. I'm gonna take notes on that too. And now I'm gonna be silent.
I
You
don't
know,
I don't think
it's
it
not
has
my
anything to do with male and female.
no, I don't think so either.
More so masculine and feminine.
Reading that opening part of the book of Lilith, The book speaks in riddles and shit, and that's why I want to find somebody who could really break that stuff down, man. I don't want to hear a preacher fucking preach that Lilith was a demon, and well, a demon's a spirit. We know that, or a daemon. Gotta look at Lilith as evil. And I've noticed they paint pictures of the female to be the serpent. And I've heard men say female are like a serpent. They're excuse me, I've heard men say women are wicked and slick like a serpent. They'll be nice just to draw you in and then strike. But I've seen that from both energies, you know, male and female. So, and that whole androgynous thing, you know, you could look at it like, you know, are we androgynous? We have male and female traits, no, right? So people say, oh, you don't have your mother's traits in you because you come from the sperm, which is from the man, and the womb is just like a place to let the sperm grow. I don't know how true that is. I'm not a fucking scientist, doctor and shit, right? But it kind of makes sense. I mean, what do you guys think about that androgynous? They call it that because they have the male and female parts? Or is androgynous a male and female like we would be in one? And do you think a person has both male and female traits? Or do you just come from the father and the womb is a place to grow the sperm? I think we have both traits because if you put my picture next to my mother and my grandma, it's identical almost. It's like it was being reborn. Okay, great answers.
Oh, she's doing an Owen Benjamin now. I think Kimba is doing an Owen Benjamin. It's comedy.
So what do you think, boy? Fuck all that other shit.
Yeah.
What do you think about the androgynous? What do you think, B2? Do you think we're androgynous because we're male and female, or do you think, like I've heard somebody say, like I said, that the father or the man, the sperm comes from the man and the woman is just like a place for the sperm to grow?
That's no, see, no. That's
well,
where
androgynous doesn't really play a factor in like Homo sapien per se. It's more of like a concept when applied to us, since we have XX chromosomes, XY chromosomes, and other combinations. Androgynous is more so like entities that don't have that dynamic, where we apply our male female to that masculine feminine, and androgynous entities would be more balanced, but they may project more of a masculine or more of a feminine.
Wow.
Like, so
So actually,
What if there's a female and they project more of a male? Can she consider herself a male?
so what is actually injecting here is like the superiority of the superiority of what are you injecting here?
No superiority. So
Yeah,
at
you
a
did.
different
You
level.
did. You
So
did.
at a different
You did.
level, you
I
could
I
say,
heard that. I heard that.
so
I
you
heard
could
that.
say a
So
superiority of
that
a
was
higher
funny,
level being
and
that
I
what
hope
you
that nobody
suggest.
else heard it, and maybe it was just pointed out for me. So maybe therefore only I heard it. But it was like it was not subtle. That's why I pointed it out. But you know, I know you to be a very clever character. But you know, then again, when you say these things as subtle as you do, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I
I don't.
appreciate your take on the things I share.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the semen in the egg, mitochondria has its own set of DNA. The sperm has its own set of DNA. They put themselves together. The egg actually chooses the sperm. And it, you know, basically, if you're good enough, you will get blessed with the possibility of conception. As far as that, we don't really understand the ancients can sense when that conception happens. There's like a mini nuclear explosion and it starts radiating life energy. But yeah, that's all I know on the topic.
Faceplant said our mitochondrial DNA comes from the mother.
Right, it's located in the egg.
Does anyone ever watch that guy Ben Carson?
It rings a bell.
Yeah, he talks about he said the Bible is stories stolen from the Anunnaki. Right, like all these stories can be stories, right? Like we could just be a genetic farm. That's what Ben Carson said, that Enki and Enlil and all these other characters in that story created a genetic farm, and Garden of Eden. I don't want to misquote the man, but he was just basically saying a genetic farm, and they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. I forgot for why, but and then you hear people say, like I said earlier, that Adam and Eve were brother and sister. Billy Carson, yes, thank you, Yeti. Or Yeti Life. I said just Yeti, but oh shit, Ben Carson is the brain surgeon. Oh shit.
Yeah, I heard the Dead Sea Scrolls, or the Bible and the Dead Sea Scrolls were based off of like a breeding manual to is the people of the book, and it might be like the Nazarites or the Nazarenes that keep regenerating and multiplying and using that as their power. And then it tells how to get men and women into peak fertility, who to breed with to limit inbreeding. But that could be considered like Enki and Enlil Anunnaki style genetic information or whatever. But yeah, I heard it was basically just human breeding manuals. If
Yeah.
that term is not too rough.
Well, I to be honest, like the Bible, the Quran, the Anunnaki, even the Book of Lilith, that shit's spoken in like code or and it's like, can't people just speak normal and break it down? Why they gotta be so secretive with shit, man, and play games? Like they'll tell a story and it's like all coded and shit, and it's like either tell the fucking story or don't.
Well,
You
if
know?
you make it your life goal, you would actually be able to decode it. Even the Bible, in whichever language it was written. I mean, I tried reading a book that was written in a language that nobody knows, and even I made an effort, and I got a result. And I'm sure the same can be done with the Bible. But do you really want? I mean, once you get to know some of the Bible, okay. I don't know if any. I know you didn't study the Bible, Chuck, but I didn't study it either. But I tried to study it, and the feeling that I got from it was so suspicious. I thought, well, I don't like this feeling. It doesn't get me closer to light. It only gets me closer to. It only makes me feel darker. It only makes me. It only makes me want to reach more for the light because I feel so dark. And
it makes me despise that God in that book.
Yeah, and this is not why I started to read the Bible. It's fascinating, but it's not enlightening. And so I stopped doing that. I didn't want to know anything about it because it makes me feel bad.
I think the path of the book brings awareness to darkness, not light.
But it's not because it said, "Oh, you're a sinner from the start." No, it was because of another reason. It was just because of the whole atmosphere that the book or the collection of books breathe. It's not a good atmosphere. I'm sorry, but and I'm not gonna. I don't want to demonize the Bible, at large, but there's some demons inside there. I can tell you that.
Yeah, reading the Bible never really taught me to do the right thing. It just taught me the things that are optional. Following my father's footsteps showed me good form and put me on a right-hand path. Anything I read in the Bible, it just opens up awareness to the duality of the situation, which gives option to a left-hand path.
I know enough about the Bible. I can't sit here and regurgitate and memorize every freaking scripture there is, but I know the main parts of the Bible, and it repeats itself a lot in different ways. And it's like Candy said. I agree with what she said. The Bible, I used to look at it as like, it's how you perceive it. Everyone perceives it differently. But like I've always said, man, we should be writing our own book. Philosophers came together and wrote this book for King James. And when I found that out, that really made me question. This book most likely has nothing to do with none of us. Is any of them people in the book our ancestors? Probably not.
This is pretty much how you get acknowledgement in universities or in literature, is when you refer to the Bible or to literature that has been referred to. This is actually the definition of literature. If you refer to other scriptures that have been acclaimed scriptures, so that have been proven, right? So if you don't,
regurgitation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's all school is about, regurgitating what they tell you.
Yeah, and if you can regurgitate that in a way that it's new, but you're saying the same thing, they're gonna praise you. So, oh, you're saying the same thing, but in a completely new manner, right?
Yeah,
that's the game.
Kimba said, it confused me so much more and took me to a darker place. Yeah, and I would analyze how the religion would turn people more. They would sit there and think because they were baptized and they could regurgitate scriptures that they are higher than somebody. And I watched all the religions. There's these certain people that will down you because they think they're higher than you on a pedestal. And it contradicts. They contradict themselves when they say, you're not supposed to think you're better than someone. wouldn't you pray for, I don't want to use the word pray, but hope that person changes for the better? I wouldn't go judging people and saying I'm better than you and above you. It almost turns that person, it inflames their ego or whatever you want to call it. And they think, it does bring people to a darker side. They can't see it. They maybe despise that God. Such a hypocrite and jealous individual, or whatever you want to call that God. And people and Christians have told me, I've said this before, they've come to my channel a couple of years ago, and one woman said, God doesn't care what you think, right? Or how you feel. And I was like, damn, right? My first thought was, and you praise this God, right?
Yeah.
Like, what God would create creations and then say, I don't care what you think or how you feel? Well, that would be a God that created a bunch of slaves to just do work for him, play a bunch of games with them for entertainment, no?
Well, that is the God of this world, per definition.
Well,
and it even says so in the Bible. And I'm not a Bible.
Why would I want to serve that God?
I don't like the Bible. I wasn't raised with the Bible in my left or right hand whatsoever. But then again, it says so in the Bible, and we all have to pay money to live somewhere. So if I have a house and it's on land, why do I have to pay somebody to own the land? And then when I own it, why do I have to pay taxes? So who goes there?
Didn't God give us this land, boy, right? Don't it say that? God gave us this land.
Yeah, and so who the fuck is the one that's telling everybody, like, it needs to be paid? Nobody told. No, this is the whole fuck up. Nobody went around the world to say, oh, everybody's got to pay everybody, so just everybody can have land. Doesn't make any sense. There was one guy, one army going around before all this happened. That's the only thing that makes sense. And that was the devil himself. It's as simple as that.
I just want to add this. Maybe that person in the chat wasn't even talking about me. I took that into consideration too, because they didn't put a name. So if that's the case, my apologies. But I took it wrong, like a biatch. But yeah, I just thought to myself, maybe that person wasn't even talking to me, right? That's what happens when you approach someone in a bad mood.
No, usually the chat is talking to the chat. Usually it's not talking about what's going on in the video or in the stream. Yeah.
Because I don't belittle people. But anyway. So B, how is this fast going, man? 5 days? That's an accomplishment, bro. Much respect.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
you said 5 days, man. That I made it 2 or 3 days, I think. 3 was tops, and I was like, I can't do it. I failed, bro. I became weak.
Thanks, I appreciate it. A lot of it, I just stayed busy. Like I said the other day, I've been popping a lot of seeds and out potting some fig cuttings. But almost all my waking hours, my lower self is screaming at me to eat something. And then when they lower their volume, it turns to negotiation. Well, you like this food, don't you? Or we like to go there. Don't look at, oh, you just drove by this place. Let's stop there and eat. And I've forgotten I was on a fast like a handful of times. And when I go to approach the food, I remember, oh shit, I'm trying to do something right now. Yeah.
Faceplant said, I have separated Bible books from any relationship with the Creator. And I did too, because when I look at the Creator the God in the Bible, I never thought, when I was even in my child days before teenager, I would think that can't be the true creator of this realm. I just never felt that way. But when I look at it, it reminds me of a system, like the system we live in. It's a hypocritical system, just like the Bible's hypocritical. The person in the Bible would be a president or a ruler. They will put you in prison for your criminal actions.
No,
but if they kill somebody,
they will.
They don't go to jail.
No, they will put you in prison for your good deeds. No good deed will go unpunished. That's their favorite saying, dude. No, they will not put you in prison for your crimes. They will put you in prison for your good deeds. That's the name of the game, dude.
Who's seen? I just watched a video today that was put out. There was a cop approached this man's car. He was just sitting in his car, minding his business, and the cop walked up to the car, opened the door,
and there was a problem.
Started antagonizing them. Yeah, started saying, "Do you live here? What do you?" That's none of their business to even do that. What the fuck's going on in this country? Where police think they could just walk up to people and say, "Do you live here? You look suspicious." They're taking the suspicious thing to a whole nother level, man. It's becoming an excuse.
Dude, they came to my door and they said people called us, and
yeah, they be making that up.
Yeah, and they said,
they always say that
because they said to us that you're not doing well. I said, who called you up? So I said, who called you? We can't say that in relating to the privacy principle. I said, okay, cool. I can't open up the door and relating to the privacy principle. Oh, we don't believe you. You better open up the door. Guys. And then, I have a big lock behind my door, so it sounds like clunk, 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 clunk. And these guys were like, oh, fuck. I think he's not going to open it.
Well, the guy went to get out of his car, and the fucking cop grabs him up and tries, it's going to hem this man up for getting out of his car. He wasn't pulled over. He wasn't being detained for any criminal actions. He was approached, and automatically he's a criminal, right? These cops just make shit up in their mind. They'll take this suspicion thing and twist it and just make shit up, and they'll make an innocent person guilty and just.
Oh, you tell me.
It's crazy, man. They fish for information to twist it.
They can make not even an innocent man. They can make a victim guilty. Not even an innocent man, somebody that has nothing to do with anything. No, they will make the victim the perpetrator.
Well, that's what the news is doing to this gentleman.
Yeah.
He shot the cop and killed him because the cop, he felt threatened. And by law, right, if you go by law, the cop was wrong. And the guy was defending himself. The cop was committing criminal actions. But the reason why I brought it up is because the news station, the police took, I forgot how long they'll take to release, if a cop is wrong and the person's right, they'll screw with the footage, they'll blur shit out, they'll take forever to release it. But when the cop, they want to defend the cop, man, and make the guy look like he was wrong, but he was defending himself, and he beat that case. But they don't want people they don't want people standing up for their rights and doing what that guy did to the police. That's why they do that, because they know police are wrong most of the time.
You will never see how he won that case, because that's a different path that you're gonna have to take. That you're being offered a different judicial path than he took. Otherwise, you don't get there. Okay, you can't even sue a cop. Try to sue a cop. Okay. Try to sue a cop, and then try to get a cop convicted after you killed him, dude.
Well, you could sue them, but they're not going to pay for it. It's going to come out of the tax money.
You can try to sue him. You can sue him, but it won't. I mean, court will just say that they're not available, for that case. That's how it works, dude. It's mafia. It's not like it makes sense. So this guy who actually shot down the cop was just a bigger mafia dude than the small cop. That's actually what happened. That has nothing to do with any rights.
Want me to play the video?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Let me see that.
Private toll roads are often the most expedient way to travel. I'll just leave it at that, boy.
What's that? Sorry, I didn't hear that, B.
Private toll roads are often the most expedient way to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that's very mafioso.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I needed some more translations than one to translate that. He left us. He left us, guys. Just left us. Release my nigga. Mark Basket in the house. I used Google search before they hit the good sites. My file is old. Yeah, dude, we've all been there. I mean, that's why we still know each other, I guess.
That was the time of real information exchange. A lot more old world information was still up. A lot of the old timer blogs and personal websites were up that would detail a lot of uncommon information.
All right. This guy is called hold on. Oh shit.
Oh, that's funny. I like that
So,
show.
this guy, his channel is Deleted Laws. He's supposed to be a shit, I forgot it. The Constitution and stands against the tyranny. Who knows if any of these... I'm not saying this guy is with the BS or not, but he knows his shit. Let me just shut up and play it. Oops. forgot the sound, my friends.
Body cam video.
Within hours, they released this body cam footage. Isn't that amazing? When one of theirs gets killed, they can release that video quick. This guy was wrongfully arrested. And by the way, he beat the murder charge.
Included the moment Officer Rayner was shot.
So he walked up to this guy. He's illegally detaining him, illegally arresting him. Let's not forget that. Let's not skip it. That he's trying to kidnap him with no reason, no charges, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. That's not happening right here. This piece of shit Rayner is trying to arrest Wallace for no reason.
Last night. Now, we chose not to air the entire clip, which showed the second
not.
that the officer was shot.
Now, watch these state-run media operatives say,
now, we chose not to air the entire clip, which
we chose not to air it, but in the vein of transparency, we're now going to show it. Yo, you're full of shit, honey. You want the pigs to be able to say, look, he killed a pig.
But today, after careful consideration and deep discussion in our newsroom and with law enforcement around the community,
the pigs got on the phone with you and said, man, we got to make this black guy look real bad. That's what the pigs did. And if it was a white guy, they would have said the same thing.
Careful
White trash
consideration.
crack
I like
man.
that.
They use our race to make sure that we stay divided from one another.
it is important to show you in its entirety.
Yeah, so in our new
Oh, if it's important to show in entirety, why didn't you do it right away? The pigs wanted the body cam released that day, and they did. But they can't do that for your murder video.
Show you in its entirety.
Yeah,
what
so in our new
fraud.
digital show Solutionaries,
Fraud.
investigator Lewis Bolden
Fraud.
has been focusing on
Fraud.
the relationship between law enforcement.
State-run media operative, total fraud, total scam, total lie.
He joins us now to walk us through the seconds that changed this officer's life and why it's so important to understand the risk our law enforcement officers face every single day.
There's the cop suck right there. What a load of shit. Put a one in the chat if you know that being a pig isn't even the top 10 most dangerous jobs, because they've made the job only about officer safety. The Supreme Court has given them officer safety over our rights. Being a pig is not dangerous at all. What's dangerous are pigs.
As police continue searching for
Oh, yeah.
Damn, he couldn't have said that any better. And I'm not saying all cops are bad. We know this, but 98% of them are.
Yeah, right. I mean, only the young ones, only the fresh, only the young blood. Only the young blood cops are good. Kimba wants
Otho
me to
Wallace,
say-
who they say shot a 26-year-old Daytona Beach police officer. Daytona Beach police quickly released the officer's body camera footage.
Video is tragic. You know, it shows something that we don't see really much ever.
News 6 initially stopped the video just before the officer is shot, but we strive for transparency.
Oh, you do not. The news does not strive for transparency. Stop your bullshit, bro. You're state-run media. The local Florida pig said, release it, release it, release it.
This guy's awesome, yo. He's nuts at the same time. He tells it like it is.
I'm in with his energy. You know, he's probably being violated. He's probably been violated himself too, right? That's why. So
He has.
yeah,
I watched some of his early videos. He goes out on the field and confronts bullies.
yeah.
But
He's been there.
he does what the police does. He reels them in.
We got to show everybody he killed the cop, he killed the cop, he killed the cop. But don't point out that he was merely sitting in his car minding his own fucking business. He had no intention to kill a cop. He had no intention to kill anybody. He was sitting in his car minding his own business. You jackboot thug pigs are lucky that I've sworn.
And then
off
this
the life
this
of
idiot
violence.
cop
I'm not gonna have
comes
anything to
running
do with
up to
violence.
this man.
Because if
this
you pulled me
innocent
out of my
man,
car like that, the same thing.
thinking that he can be like more than this man because you know he's a cop. They get hired because they have low IQ, no morality, and no integrity at all. So all they need to do is win. So whenever they see somebody, you know, in a car that's not like way more expensive than the car that they drive in, you know, that's an easy victim.
He's a drug dealer.
Yeah, I'm
You
just
know?
gonna pick on him. I'm just gonna pick on this guy. I don't care.
Yeah, he's got a 2024 Benz. Oh, he's a drug dealer. Let's pull him over. He's black and he's got a Benz 2024. Oh, he's definitely a drug dealer. You know, they label.
Never fails.
Crazy.
Never fails.
Same thing might happen to you. Now, I have a bigger brain. I have a bigger group of people, and I know I'm going to get cheated in court, but eventually I'm going to win, and I'm going to change your policies from the top down. Persecute me, prosecute me, put me in the dungeon. Help me build up. Show what you do to people.
Really stop the video just before the officer is shot, but we strive for transparency.
Oh,
So
shut
it
up.
sparked a discussion in our newsroom.
Oh,
Do you
shut up.
believe the public should see that video in its entirety?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, shut
Over
up.
the past year, we have seen so many law enforcement encounters that have kind of motivated for reform. Those videos were graphic. And
Yeah, cops murdering people, it's all over the country. 50% of us strongly dislike you, and a lot of us, like me, we hate you, dirty pigs.
is the stuff
Oh, this is the stuff
that as a cop,
that as a pig. Oh, we are so scared. Look at the good-looking white guy. Look at the good-looking white guy appealing to the whites. Worse, and look at the evil black guy, Wallace, over here. Look at that picture they got of Wallace. Wallace didn't want to go into a shootout. Wallace wasn't doing anything but sitting in his car. Oh, black guy, gold teeth. Look at them. We're scared. We're scared. We're so scared. Oh, I'm scared.
and I think showing something like this to the community can create a mutual respect.
Oh, no.
And I think showing something like this to the community can create a mutual respect.
No, Rayner, who was killed, I hope he's burning in hell. I really do. God
Ouch.
forgive me for feeling that way. I'm human, and I can't get past my humanity. Jason Rayner ruined Wallace's life. Wallace is in prison right now for manslaughter. He beat the murder charge because it was an illegal arrest, and Jason Rayner was being a jackboot thug pig. I hope Rayner's burning it.
Sorry, when he said, sorry, I'm a human and I can't get past my humanity, even though you demand that of me, or something similar. I like that. I'm going to use that. He said that. Sorry, I'm a human. I can't get past my humanity, even though you demand that of me. So,
And
something like
and they always use that too. They always say for our safety, and I thought they were put in place for our safety. That always gets me when they say that. Oh, our safety, dude. You're the guy with a gun, a automatic weapon in the trunk, a fucking taser, all types of shit, and we're talking about for your safety. What about mine? You're fucking armed to the teeth and threatening me. And then when they come, there's like, I've noticed it don't matter what the call is. It could be an argument. And they'll show up 12 deep, surround you. And
they're the victim. And then, you know, if they cannot find anything on you, these 12 guys that attacked you are the victim.
Yeah. Because
you folded your fingers in the wrong way and you even broke your thumb. And now these people are traumatized. And I've watched a lot of these videos, and I see how they manipulate everything. And when a person stands their ground, right, because they have rights, all of a sudden the person's suspicious, and they're hiding something. What? You know, like, it's funny how they'll say that. Oh, why don't you just throw all your rights away and give me your ID? You know, what are you hiding? You know, if you just give me your ID, this will go a lot faster, right? They try to manipulate the person and fucking, oh, you standing for your rights? Oh, you're a criminal now.
Yeah. This is police we're talking about, right? Law
in
enforcement.
hell.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, so law enforcement is more like a secretary that writes a ticket to get a fee, you know, to generate income. They just so happen to have weapons on them. But in the United States, you are within your rights. Whenever a police officer comes up to engage with you, you can request a sheriff's deputy be present because those are the elected officials to enforce the laws.
Yeah, ask for a supervisor.
No, a sheriff.
Oh.
Because they're not police. They're not a secretary with a notepad that generates revenue. They're actually elected officials by some people, and then they deputize individuals, which would give them, you know, the same sort of elected official status. Police are hired. They do interviews, and like Boy said, the interview process selects a certain type of archetype to to make, their agenda be able to be pushed through. But yeah, you can request the sheriff. If you're getting pulled over, you can request the sheriff. You say, hey, there's a guy with a gun behind me. I might need a deputy just to observe and videotape every interaction with law enforcement.
And then cops wonder why people be nervous when they get pulled over. You know, these people are scared of their own shadow, and they will gun you down. You know, if you're reaching for your fucking license in your back pocket, they'll blow your fucking head off. Oh, he's reaching for a gun, right? It's crazy, man.
And all these shows,
got his pitchfork up his
all
ass.
these videos are just there.
This
to
doesn't build mutual respect.
Program you and me to be scared victims. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lay down on the ground. I'm gonna play like totally guilty and whatever you want. Yeah, I'm gonna plead side. I'm gonna plead fifth. Whatever. No.
That's another thing. They tell you to lay on the ground like a dog. And then if you don't listen to them, they'll beat your ass. And when you say, why'd you do that? Because you didn't listen to me. Like, what?
Yeah. They did that.
You didn't lay on the ground and stuck on my boot like I told you.
In my country, I can run away from the police, right? I can run away from the police. That's not even illegal.
It's not illegal here either. But here in America, it's different. They'll blow your back out.
Yeah.
No
I thought
homo.
that's evading.
What? Running?
Yeah.
No. Isn't invading a physical act?
Evade.
Oh.
No. No. Well, the thing is,
what if a cop pulls a gun on you and you have no weapon and you fear for your life and you run? You ain't in the wrong.
Well, we're in a different country, but he says, "Foy, I don't think you can run fast enough." Thing is, dude. Thing is, I don't run for cops, unless I'm already running. I'm not gonna run for cops. Okay, that's just under my pay grade there. Okay, I'm not gonna run.
All right, let's finish this.
That's just what I have to say about that.
How many minutes we got left? I want to see the whole video. That's what I want to see.
My group, at least 50% of my group comes with me. And there's another 50% of the group who just strongly dislikes cops. Well, I fucking hate them. I do. I hate them. So because I hate cops and this cop died, Jason Rayner, in a murderous jackboot thug pig fashion, he got what he deserved. I'm sorry. He got what he deserved. He tried to illegally kidnap a man and drag him off to a dungeon. Stick his fingers up his butt, in his armpits, up his nose, then take him in, turn around, squat, cough, put him in torture cuffs, drag him to a dungeon, put him on.
I've seen cops on the scene take it was in, I think, New York State, but it wasn't in the city. It was somewhere. I could be wrong, but it don't matter where. They took the guy out of his car, put him up, and the fucking cop put rubber gloves on and went in the guy's butthole. Right there, in front of the store. He put his hands and searched him right there under his nuts. He put his hands on his whole shit. When it took his two fingers, slid it up his butthole, I was like, damn, in front of everybody. And the guy sued and won the case, but still, the cops don't care if you sue because they're not paying out of their pockets. It comes out of the tax money. That's why they'll say, sue me. I don't care. They'll get fired and go somewhere else. 10 states over and get a job. They don't care. And as long as the tax money pays for their criminal actions, it's not going to stop. Now, if we could sue the police.
Well, we don't have to sue them. We just have to drag them through the streets, bold and naked, like they did 70 years ago.
Put them in the fucking prison like they deserve.
Yeah, after that, if they survive bold and naked over the streets, I mean, I can only hope they get spared the rope, But if you survive naked and bold through the streets, you're gonna be thrown into a dungeon for a couple of months, just to teach you some humility, some bread and water to survive.
Some bread, shove it in your head,
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Put him on a chain gang. He's got to be chained around with 3 other people. Got to go on the bus, get locked in all those cages. Then got to go to court where he goes to a Kevin or Karen judge says, "Oh, you're black? Prison." I know I'm hardcore. I get it.
Eats a bologna and cheese sandwich.
Video like this.
Oh, whenever there's video like this, listen to that blanket statement. Whenever there's video like this,
all right, buddy.
put one in the chat that's going to be bullshit. You know it right away.
Can create a mutual respect.
No, it doesn't, bro. We hate you. A lot of them strongly dislike you, but I openly say I hate your guts, dude.
Whenever there is video like this.
Oh, whenever there's video like this.
Oh my God, dude.
My concern is always the family of the officers.
There it is right there.
My concern.
What's his concern? What is his concern?
Concern is always the family of the officer.
Oh, but not Wallace. Not Wallace, who's being wrongfully kidnapped, wrongfully persecuted, wrongfully arrested. You don't have any empathy for Wallace. We're in a life and death war against these pigs, and we can't use violence. So every once in a while, when someone actually offs one of these pigs, I don't have any empathy. I feel nothing.
I feel victory.
Boy, one thing I do question.
You know, when I hear that, yeah,
What?
good, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but you got to question these channels, man. I question these channels.
Yeah.
And I ask, who put them here?
That's
and,
good. That's
you know,
a good point. That's a good point, Charles. Very good point.
is it here to keep us divided? And who put them here? You know,
No,
are they really making a difference?
No, they're not making a difference. It's a good question. So let me answer it. They're here to harvest the ones that like this. So everybody that says hallelujah to this guy for shooting a cop, you know, will be getting a mark after his name. That's why these channels are
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Are these channels used to draw certain people out?
Yeah.
You know, let's stream through the comments and start marking people. Oh, this one said this. Marked them. We're gonna watch him.
Yeah, because
You know.
this is all you know that's left. That is what it's all about. Not the community, but the cult. The cult is not so much about including people. It's only about including super stupid people that are like easily controlled, and excluding all the intelligent people that are out there. That's why, I mean, this is what history is about, right? They first killed the intelligentsia, the poets, the artists, the journalists, the people that pull people together, right? And after that, there's nothing left. And that's only then, it's only then that people start to notice, because it's always the same, isn't it?
Peace, Gabriel. Hey, man. I like the stuff you're posting, Gabriel. Keep that up, man. Gabriel has he's in Germany, and he has a lot of good pictures and videos on the places he's traveling over there, man. It's really interesting stuff. Check him out. Gabriel's in the chat. Gabriel H.
Gabriel H. Yeah, I see now.
Let me finish this.
So Maggot says any of them cop shows, don't comment. Well, I'm on the list already, so.
I remind people know how corrupt
Mr. Wallace
everything is.
didn't kill Rayner. Wallace could have died in the transport to jail. Wallace could have been killed in the dungeon. Wallace could have been sentenced to prison and crimes that he didn't commit. He was just sitting in his car. Why do they skip over that Wallace was doing nothing wrong but sitting in his car? Why are we skipping that? Oh, it's so important for transparency, but we've only mentioned one time total that it was an illegal arrest. And in America, you have the right to resist an illegal arrest. In Florida, they're going to try to take that away. If they take it away in Florida, get ready, Louisiana, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina. Get ready, Texas.
I like his channel. He But Florida too, man. You know Florida, how they play videos and them allegedly catching these chomos? You know, is that part of the show to make it look like they're doing something about these chomos when in reality, yeah, they're catching these so-called chomos and trafficking and all that, but where's the children? Where are they finding any of these children? You know, isn't that the main goal, right? It's to find the children.
Man, what happened? Did they stop my stream or what?
No, you're still here. You're still here.
Because they've done that before. I thought they cut my stream out because I couldn't see the comments on my laptop. I had to dip out of there. They've done that to me before, man. Yeah, my voice was breaking up because I was on my laptop and I use the hotspot for that, and it causes, when I move the mouse and stuff, it's I don't know why, it's like a weak signal, but you won't have that problem no more. Yeah, it is the audio. It's when I move the mouse on my laptop.
Don't move the mouse.
But yeah, we know the system's corrupt. And, you know, I start to question. You know, I got love for these channels like Lackluster, and because I respect Lackluster because he doesn't, you know, spew out the anger like this guy. And I don't know that guy. I'm not going to down him, but Lackluster breaks down the case. He breaks down the laws that were broken, and then he shows how, you know, you can avoid all this. And he tells you what was wrong. Like, people don't know who Lackluster is. Watch his video compared to this guy, and you'll see why I like Lackluster and James Freeman and these other channels, because they actually break the stuff down. You know, they're not just yelling and saying how much they hate police and all that. Lackluster has like more of a professional channel, and James Freeman and what's the other guy? You know, I don't. To be honest, I don't hate the there's good cops. Put it that way. I just hate that they're so corrupt, and they treat the people like shit.
But that's by design. That's by design.
Yeah, of course. Police, when they were militarized, I knew we were fucked back in the days. When I seen they started to get those tanks, and they pump out, like, they make it seem like in these poor areas there's shootings all day long, and it's not even true. I lived in the ghetto and still do in the poor areas, and they paint pictures like it's a war zone. It's not even true. It's not even fucking true, but they plant the fear in the people, and that's their excuse to militarize the police. The people are the enemy.
Yeah, society is getting more violent, so we have to, you know, we're gonna have to be more violent too, just to prevent all the violence. We're gonna have to be more violent too.
But that's what they want.
Even to the
as soon as we react like that, you know it's gonna happen. We know what the next step is.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do, is pull that out of us. Because then that gives them more laws to implement, lockdowns, military they could call in. They're itching for that.
I don't give a shit about your laws. I don't give a shit about your judgment. I don't give a shit about
That's
their
a lot of
lawyers.
shit, bro.
I don't need a lawyer. I don't need judgment. I need an
Let me get some toilet paper, boy.
I'm
That's a
gonna
lot of
get
shit.
I'm gonna get me an army with a few good men, and they're gonna lead this army, and they're gonna break this whole thing down like it's nothing.
Maggot said, cops leave me alone. Yeah, I get it. But there's always that chance, man, that one day. You know, I love that saying, back to blue until it happens to you. How many people love the cops until they were minding their business one day and the cop made your business theirs and said, you look suspicious. Do you live here? Like that's any of their fucking business. I thought this was a free country. You know, you can't even park on the street without them coming up to you and saying, they'll use one of the 80 excuses. Someone called. Really? You know, like you said, boy, or you look suspicious. That's the new one, man. That's that. Suspicion. What is it called?
You act weird. You act
what is it called? Damn, it's something suspicion. It's called not justifiable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion. That's the new one they use.
RAS. Reasonable articulated suspicion.
Yeah, but they say it's reasonable suspicion. If people called and said you look suspicious because you got a camera and you're taking pictures, they think that's reasonable suspicion to detain you, cuff you, and search you. Like, they don't care about your rights. The First Amendment says you can take pictures on a public easement and anything you can see.
They don't care because
yeah,
they are a gang and they have their own rules. And once they have you inside of their claws or their jaws, they're gonna, judge you by their rules, and nothing else matters in that moment. It's just these people just want to win. They don't win any fight for morality or for any. They just want to win, and so because they're lame ass motherfuckers, they're cowards, they're stupid, and they're cowards, and they're dumb, and they lack integrity, and that's why they dress themselves in uniforms to look like a group when they don't even know what the group means. They just act like everybody else.
I got a badge, so now I can bully people because I was bullied.
Yeah. And it's not only the bullied people that join the police, it's the bullies and the bullied people that join the police.
I found this picture right here. I showed it in the beginning of the video. And this is one of the only pictures I've ever found that shows Eve in the garden. And the serpent is Lilith and not Satan. It is the first one I've seen like this. It's got the firmament. Anyway. These pictures are interesting. I could see them better now. But look at how that's in like a field, right? And then they dig down and that's there. And then I'm left to think, why the hell is that so deep underground, right? Was that a basement to a building? Is that, I would love to be the person to dig this up. And then you get to stuff like this.
I mean, I wouldn't like to dig this up. I would love to lead the expedition, but I wouldn't like to be digging, to be honest. It's a lot of work, dude.
Yeah. I don't know what years this was in. It's not that old, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it looks like 40s, 50s, 30s, maybe.
Huh. There's a lot of underground tunnels here. I mean, look at the guy at the bottom. The guy the farthest down, he's looking up at the camera like, bitch, come down here and shovel. Stop taking pictures. It's always that one guy standing around with his hands in his pocket. No, that's what my boss used to say. If you ever caught someone on a job site with their hands in their pockets standing around, oh, you were getting flamed. Now this picture, my first question was when I seen this picture, how are the statues in so good of intact, right? They're pretty dang clean. You know, they almost look like they were brought down there.
They're placed there. It doesn't even look like it's real. It looks like a copy. One is the copy of the other.
Yeah, they look like reversed images. They're the same ones, but they reverse it to face different ways.
Nah, I mean, it's the same. They're even from a different angle, but it's the same. It's the same statue.
Right, that picture's not that good. Oops, damn it. I really kept that picture because of the building in the background. But fuck. I mean, and when you look at this, the architecture to this looks almost, I don't even know what to call it compared to the other architecture we find that's so supreme. This stuff looks caveman-ish. But
no, it seems to be all built from bricks, right?
Yeah.
Like meters thick, like at least 3 feet thick walls, but made with what is it, 1/2 foot bricks?
And then it was covered with like a plaster, right? Like a thick.
Yeah.
Because even this picture right here, you can see in the background, it has one of the Greek stadiums. And then you find the underground. Those could have been entrances to the stadium, like where the Lions and the Warriors would walk through from another building. So they weren't above ground. They would come out into the stadium, maybe.
It looks a lot like the Colosseum in Verona, in Italy.
It could be, because this is Rome. Yeah, Rome, Italy. All these are Rome. The excavation of Rome. All of them. All these pictures. I got it from a website. I was looking for pictures, and I accidentally came across the excavation picture, and then I clicked on the link, and it took me to the website, and it had like 50 pictures, and I said, man, this is interesting. So
this looks a bit too. No, this looks a bit too clean to be all dug up. I don't buy this picture.
Well, if you ever seen these so-called archaeologists, they use a toothbrush and a spoon, right?
Yeah.
And they just brush and dig. I mean, you would be there for eons.
I get it. I get that. I get that. But you know, that doesn't, even that makes my question more poignant. Makes me, yeah. Come on.
And this with the mosaic floor.
Dude, look at top right. Does it look like they're excavating, or does it look like they're building a fucking theater there?
Yeah, all the wood and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, they're building.
Or either they're putting something over something to hide what they're gonna take out.
That's cribbing. to keep the structure up while they excavate down.
Or to cover it too. Maybe if it rains, it won't. If it rained, it would be fucked. Put it that way. That'll all be muddy. It's almost like, you know what these remains remind me of? Like the Chicago fires and shit. All the buildings that were destroyed, and then they just bulldozed dirt over it and buried it. Because everything's broken down and broke. It was like, this is what it looked like before they buried it all, right? It was already broken down like this, and then they just filled dirt over it. Or there is a fucking tsunami of mud. I don't know. I didn't live back then, but.
Or maybe we cannot even understand what happened.
Oh, you want the link, Faceplant? I got you. Faceplant said he's got millions of bricks in stone. Sub pump, yeah. I remember my first time seeing a sub pump in the basement. It was like a hole in the ground, and it was filled with water, and the sub pump would turn on and pump it out. And I was like, what the hell is this? A well? I didn't know what a sub pump was until I went to somebody's house. I didn't know what a sub. I grew up in apartment buildings. Now this is interesting. I don't know if this is old or is this part of the new structures, but either way, it's pretty interesting. I just want to delete these. I wanted to go over them one more time. I try to make today's show interesting. I opened up with Lilith. I wanted to I know I don't have Brother Sanchez type fucking. One day I might, when I'm more enthusiastic. You know, where Bro Sanchez, you know, he has good, I don't know what word I'm looking for. He has good breakdowns and shit. I mean, compared to that building way in the back there, it's almost like the peasants lived over here. They were like peasants.
I don't even try to make sense of it, because it's not going to matter.
It's still that way. We live in type 5 stick-built housing, and the elites, the old families live in these large stone structures with intricate geometry. I think mud brick with Adobe style coverings would be a good start for the, let's just say, peasant class or whatever, the regular people, instead of using all these 2x4s and sheetrock.
So I had found this book right here. And in this book, you can order pieces like this for buildings and shit, for architecture, all types of stuff that was in this book. I just didn't download every picture. So it makes me think, were these, you know, 3D printed? And then I found these old pistols that are pretty cool.
Oh, I had similar things. Yeah, sold them though. Yeah.
What would you rather get shot by, one of these or a newer gun? That gun right there would tear you up. A big steel ball going into you. Oh, man. Damage. Look at this thing right here. This picture intrigued me. And I got a picture of a city that has hundreds of these. What's up, Faceplant? Hopefully you got good sound. And I had this book right here. This book had a whole bunch of, this is in Chicago, all these like old movie theaters. And I remember going to old movie theaters, man. It was the best. My grandpa used to take me to this dollar theater because he was stuck in his time. He didn't like paying $8 back then to watch a movie. And not only did he only pay $1, he would sneak in snacks. He's the one who taught me how to do it. It was cheap, and I get it. He grew up in a different time.
We used to cheat on going to the movies too, like going in halftime, right? And just watch the half of the movie and just stay in the theater. Yeah. Nobody checks you when you walk into the theater in halftime, so you can just walk into the theater and watch the end of
we used to have someone go in, and somebody would go in, and then we would have a couple people wait, like where the screen is. There would be doors, exit, emergency doors, and somebody would open it and let someone in. We would do that too.
Cool.
Look at this, 1886. This is a power plant, 1886. And then I found this picture. This is interesting. It's like a giant arc with fucking buildings on it. Hold on. I'm coming. Now, I don't. This country says Lahore, right? This is Lahore Railroad Station in 1886. The Badashi Mosque. Huh?
Is that Nigeria?
I don't know. It's spelled Lahore. Lahore. And this is the railroad station.
That sounds more like India.
Yeah. Look at the inside of this railroad station. This is the inside. I mean, God. Talk about beautiful architecture.
Ask the computer where Lahore is.
India.
Yeah, it's got to be India. I'm going to check in a minute. Because this is a picture of Jamrud or Jamrud Fort in 1870. And look, it's all people from India. They even got a bridge of boats. See? A bridge of boats.
Are you using a wireless mouse, Chuck?
No. Now I'm not. I'm on my phone now. But
that might be the problem. The wireless might be interfering with the Wi-Fi a little bit.
huh. Yeah, I have to hook my laptop up, man. So I don't got to worry about that problem anymore.
You can
Money,
get a
money,
cheap,
money.
you can get a cheap wire mouse.
I mean, look at some of these people in this picture. I mean, look at that guy to the left going out the door. I mean, that fucking guy is tall compared to the other guys. If you take that guy on the left going out the door and you line him with these other people, he's definitely way bigger.
He looks like one head bigger than the rest, like the guy on the right, bottom
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's like a super giant, but shit, all these people could be huge. You just think they're normal size, but no, I
Well,
think they're mostly normal size.
Well, if you would know which building this was depicting, you would be we would be able to size that up, right? Or to relate.
Yeah, I got the name of all the other places in Lahore. I'm gonna look up Lahore right now to find out. Lahore. Mama. You talking about my mama? Okay. Lahore, Punjab, Pakistan. You were right. Pakistan, Punjab, Punjab.
Punjabi, yeah, Pakistani, yeah. That's
It's located in the northeastern region of Punjab, along the river Ravi. Lahore is one of Pakistan's major industrial and economic hubs.
Yeah.
That's why they had that super train, huh?
Close to Iran, right?
I don't know, but very interesting. I don't know. And if anyone can't find my live stream, like Kimba had an issue, when I go live on 2 streams, it's most likely, what do you want, Puma? It's most likely not going to be on my main channel. I'm going to leave them up on my little channels. Puma, you're driving me nuts. You're a nutbag. This is my other cat. She's a nut. She's just a baby.
I like Puma.
Say hi.
It's
Say
a good name.
hi.
Hi, Puma. It's a good name for
Puma,
her.
say hi. She's not thick, so she's a nut, and I think she's going through her female issues right now.
Hi, Puma. Hi, Puma.
Somebody told me that she was going to have her period everywhere. I've yet to see that. She's a grown kitty now. We got her when she was a baby. But my other cat used to lay on these t-shirts I put out for her because she was older. And my Puma wouldn't come into the living room after I'm pretty sure Puma seen Chloe dead. So she wouldn't come in the living room for a while. And then one night, I went to use the bathroom and I looked, and Puma was laying on Chloe's shirt she used to lay on. And she looked sad. like she missed her and shit. I was like, damn, your buddy's gone. Maybe I might get another cat so she could have someone to play with. Castor oil was used in engines. There was a flow valve to speed the flow up to keep it cool. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hydrogen power seems to be the way to the future, right? I mean, it seems to be the path towards free energy. It's not free energy, but when we will start using just electrolyze water, you know, that's.
How about the guy, Voy, who invented the car that ran on water, and then when he ended up going to the hospital or something because he felt poisoned, he told his last words where he died allegedly, right? He said that they are trying to kill me. Now who knows how true that is, but he definitely went from inventing the car to his car disappearing and him dead. So that always happens, right?
Stanley Myers was his name. Yeah.
There's a guy who just invented a machine that pulls the water out of the air because the atmosphere has, and people in the comments were like, you shouldn't have showed this on YouTube. You know, we got to.
Dude is an ex-cop. The dude is.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
He's a retired cop in America. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and people are like, we got to protect him, and I'm like, well, it's a little late now, you know. And,
is that the one in Michigan?
I don't know where he's from, but he might be. Just like the guy who was sleeping in his
He's a black
guy.
guy.
Who, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a guy sleeping in his what in place is called you rent to put your stuff. So he had nowhere to go. It was a pure winter. He's freezing, so he slept in his storage bin. And he posted on the internet like a ding dong, and the people seen it and found out because it went viral and they booted him out and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, you did it to yourself, you know?
Yeah.
You go and put it on fucking the internet so everyone could see it. It's like a young man flashing a gun and you don't have a license to carry it, and then he gets arrested.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, what happened? Come on. Is there any common sense left in people?
No.
Yeah, that happened to me before. We were hanging out with this kid's sister, and he pulled a gun out like we were, you know, going to get emotional or something. I offered to buy it, but he didn't want to sell it. And literally that same day, they got pulled over, and he had to do a couple of years for a gun charge.
Oh.
Yeah, bet he wished he sold it.
Right.
Those shoulda, coulda, woulda moments are painful, man. When you sit in that cell and you got nothing but time, that you get the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, it'll break you down, man.
Yeah. But that guy who made the water machine, I heard they sabotaged that water machine because he was distributing clean water. I think it was to Flint, Michigan, where all the lead was in the water.
Wow.
I think
See, it's stuff like that, man, that pisses me off and it just makes you hate the government even more.
Yeah.
And people still, if that came out as the true story, people would still have faith in the government, and
They would
it's
still say,
proven.
"Oh, if that was true, they would use it everywhere."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if they can make it rain, you know, how come we're having droughts?
Right.
You know, shit like that. The government has no intentions to care for us in any way, but people still have faith in them. It's mind blowing.
It's mainly the stupidity of people and the laziness. And then the boss or whatever, the one elite can take full advantage of his army of little lemmings But yeah, the whole thing about the water up there, if there was enough hands on deck, they could fix that problem. But one person or one small group is taking advantage of that whole situation based on laziness. I'm out here telling every single person, make sure your water's clean, because look inside your pipes right here. And I'll hold up, if I'm changing out meters, I'll hold up their pipes and say, this gets in the pipes. That will get into you if you don't filter it out.
Dude, I've taken the cap off of my sink in the kitchen, and it was filled with this gook slime, and I'm like, oh.
Dude, so the other year they replaced those the how do you say the main and the main pipes, so the main copper lines that used to be there, they replaced it with new copper lines, and they also replaced the how do you say the drain, the sewer, right? And I saw both of those. What they sought out, it didn't look too dirty, dude. Of course, the sewer looked dirty, but even but to be honest, the copper pipes through which the water runs, that is supplying my apartment, look pretty good, And they replaced it with copper pipes, not with aluminium. I just say aluminium. So it's not bad everywhere. And besides that, I know this whole thing that's going all over the world about the fluoridated tap water. It is a thing, but in the Netherlands,
how do we know it's true? Maybe it's a thing made up so
you can
they could buy more buy more bottled water.
No, you should just test your water. If you think
Come on, Puma.
If you think that your water is fluoridated or poisoned, you can test your water.
Yeah. Well, if that guy did, they were mad at him if he's handing clean water out because it's taking money out of their pockets. People won't be buying fucking bottled water. They rather dish out bottled water that people are buying, than him come with a machine and hand out clean water. That's the main. It's not that they don't want to help people. They want to get funded off of it. They want to make money off the problem and the solution.
It needs to be integrated into their system. Whatever goes, nothing goes unless it's integrated into their system. Anything successful must be owned by them. That's the deal. So you cannot have any success without them knowing it. And if you want to have any success without them knowing it, they will, kill you. That's the deal. So,
Yeah. And if you don't do it the expensive way, they'll kill you slowly. Because copper pipes is what I recommend to everybody, but PVC is what most people can afford out here. And it leaches, it's plastic. It leaches things into your water.
Yeah.
I've even seen some countries are trying to incorporate natural springs back into their population's water companies.
I gotta end this stream in a half hour. Okay. Damn, I was gonna say faceplant. Speak. He's gone.
Yeah,
he's diminished.
Gone. So but I live in one of these areas that has one of the cleanest tap water in the world. So I'm lucky like that, and that's also one of the reasons that I'm just staying in. Like, the water is so good. It's very good. It's from a well that's very deep, and it's always
wells are awesome.
Yeah,
you're getting that water from the depths of the earth that have minerals and everything you need. Well, I heard Avion water is the best water to drink. It's expensive. It's $50 for a 12-pack or something like that. And I heard the rich jacked the price up on it because it is the best water to drink. And what's Avion backwards? Naive.
Yeah, but okay. So if you travel from the south of Europe back to the north of Europe through France, you will run by all these places that are directed on the highway that says Evian, Spa, Chaufontaine, all these names that you know of water, right? Or name any water brand. It's a place on that route. Evian, Spa, Chaufontaine, Hebron, all these other names that I can't think about. You know, there's so many sources in France.
I drink Evian water when my darts get published. That's the first time I heard it. Like I said before, I remember I used to
You're muted.
No, I stopped talking because
Oh.
I was petting my cat, and now there's this hair in my hand. And when I put it near the phone, the hair is trying to grab onto the phone. It's weird. Puma, what are you attracting in this house? Are you bringing in Magellans?
It's static energy, dude.
I know. What was I talking about? I had a brain fart, brain aneurysm. Nah, don't matter.
I gotta stop smoking weed very soon. Oh man.
I just picked up a little bit of some fire myself.
Nice. I'm just selecting some tiny old buds that are still left in all the grit and the grut that's left.
When you empty them out and then re-roll it, all the roaches. I used to save all my roaches.
No, dude, not the roaches. Just the buds that I didn't care to clip. You know. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I used to roll up blunts, and I used to keep this green leaf tube. We used to get Garcia Vegas, and I would save all the roaches in the green leaf tube because A, it's sealed and it don't make a stench of weed stenches, and it gives it a time to do something to it. But when you unroll it and roll it up, man, all that, what is it called? The THC that goes to the end of the blunt, man, it'll make a fire. It'll get you so stoned.
Yeah. Well.
Yo, the resin. Those doobie
Yeah, the
blunts
resin.
Those doobie blunts are hitters. Seed popping time for anybody who has a south-facing window, windowsill, balcony.
Yeah, I do. What about it?
You could put some seeds in a wet napkin and a Ziploc bag.
Yep.
Start
Working
indoor.
on it. Working on it. I gotta pre-grow that shit. You know, I gotta start with taller trees this year.
Vitamin D lands in water tanks.
How long is your growing season out there, boy?
Well, from about April till half November. Yeah, maybe half November at its latest. You know, like some of my weed needs to take just needs some more time, so I really need to have it mature on the actual plant until, you know, somewhat November. Yeah. But I got to select my seeds very well. You know, I can't use any seed.
Look at this picture. Before I jump off here, you see this picture? It's a drawing, I think. But it reminds me of this picture. The Towers of Bologna.
Bologna.
Yeah. Bologna. there is a city, Bologna. It says El Tempe or AI Tempe. The synagogue of Dante, but they all look like something. What are these, chimneys?
Bologna.
Those are skyscrapers, Stone Age skyscrapers. And it probably caused a lot of death. Look at how rickety. Oh my God. Look.
It's supposed to be a real picture of them right here. I don't know how true that is.
Oh, that is true. I've used some of these. Well, not this picture, but I've used the image of these. I forget what they are called in some of my collages too. And they are a thing in Italy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. But most of them have been destroyed, and only just one or two are left in every city or in every region. But then again, they might have been in many regions, and they might have been destroyed in most places, and just a few were left. Not sure.
Yeah. Now they look like skyscrapers here when they're close up, but when you look at them from this, they just look like, or more or less this picture. They just look. They don't look like.
Why would you have these places? Because they don't look like like one could live in it.
Yeah, they look like chimneys almost, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't need such a high chimney.
Yeah. I don't know what they could be for, but that's a good fucking point.
Why is
Look at the one on the left. It's tilted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is that?
No wonder the Tower of Pisa was crooked. Dan, what are they in Italy? They're always drunk or off balance when they're building stuff.
It could be one of those air draft towers for cooling purposes.
That would make sense. That would make sense, dude.
Maybe they built it with. They probably built it with no foundation, and they end up sinking into the ground and leaning and shit. They didn't believe in basements or foundations back then.
No, dude, it actually makes sense. What would be what it says. It would be ventilation shafts for the tunnels underground and the underground.
Good point, B. Fuck, yeah. I didn't think of that.
And potential ice makers, depending on how efficient they are.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, dude. Yeah. And also drafting it, like, there might not be iron rods up on it, but the air that is sucked in, through these from higher up, is more ionized than the air in the lower parts, right? And that's probably why there's only ventilation shafts high up and not low down. Yeah, I don't know. Insula Tiberina.
Yeah, I just like this picture. It's interesting how it's a huge boat and they got buildings on it. I think that if I was a giant, I would create something like this. Because it would be big enough for you to do it, right? People our size can build one of these, but how much resources would you need being our size to put a fucking building? And then this blew my mind. 1886. And this is in Lahore, Punjab. 1886. I've always heard that the Middle East was ahead with their technology. Even in India, they were building robots in the 1800s. I mean, come on. Look at that.
Way before the 1800s, dude. The Vimanas were described.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and they were actually, this is what Die Glocke. That's what Germans based their UFOs upon, right? Their flying saucers. Die Glocke.
Yeah, so I saw those a long time ago, and I tried to design a flying go-kart based off a shifter cart frame with 4 turbine jet engines on it. I drafted it out, sourced the engines. They were about the size of a coffee can, but my parents wouldn't buy it because the jet engines were 15 grand a piece. And when I went around, yeah, I went around to local businesses to try and get, like sponsored, but everybody said that I was stupid for thinking that flying cars exist.
Yeah. So when was this, in 1980 or in 2020?
Probably 2006. I'm young, so a long time ago for me is.
And they still didn't believe in flying cars? Wow.
That I learned the hard way. Never underestimate how much and the power of stupid.
Yeah. I believe you.
These were adults. These were business-owning adults. Oh, for sure, these people are going to be on board. Nope.
Yeah, it's not even that much of money, right? Like 60,000 in total just for the engines. Okay, there's going to be some other costs. Maybe 1 ton, right? Maybe 100,000 altogether. It's nothing.
I would have been able to afford a scientist at 100,000. Like somebody would have helped me out. 100,000, you get like $100,000 grant. Oh shit, you could do a lot on a flying go-kart. Because again, the go-kart frame is cheap. If you welded it yourself, it'd be $100, $200. If you bought it from a fabricator, like $500 with all the steering mechanisms. I had to modify the steering mechanisms on paper because of the rotation of the jet engines. It's not just turning wheels left to right. You'd have to be able to move them independently and side to side, forward and back, all of their motions. But yeah, I wrote up a legitimate business plan with a model on graph paper, and these people still, what is it? You talk about alien stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
Man, I hate mopping floors. I gotta mop because there's these nurse that comes in every day and they track up my fucking my white tile floor in the kitchen, man. It pisses me off. I'm gonna put a sign up, take your goddamn shoes off. I got a $20,000 marble floor.
That sounds pretty bushy, dude.
No, if I go to people's house and it's the winter time, you most likely take your fucking wet boots off. You don't track sand and stuff in people's home.
Well, unless they have a marble floor, because when you have a marble floor, you can easily wipe it off.
Yeah, well, because we live in the ghetto, people must think, they have no respect for your home because it's the ghetto. But if you got $1 million home, all of a sudden people got respect. But because you're poor and it's not a mansion, people lose respect for your stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just the world, man.
But a lot of people have been in situations where they have house shoes or booties, temporary.
I got house shoes.
That's a good point. B, what is? I mean, yeah, people don't even know the difference. That's a good point. Yeah.
I wear even though I have wooden floors and I could probably ground in my apartment, I wear especially the winter time. It's an old building with wood floors, so there's cracks in the building. Breathes a lot, so there's dust all the time. I got to sweep the floors every day. Like, I don't even understand where all the dust comes from.
I need a friend like you. I need a friend like you to live with me.
Yes, definitely.
Dude, I'm OCD, bro. OCD.
Yeah.
Yep. These floors suck because they breathe. See, if they're wooden floors like this.
I would also like a marble floor. That's like, come on, dude. That's like the best.
When you got a floor like this,
you got a
old.
Yeah, man, that's some
old
solid
wood,
real wood there, and it's laid perfectly there. Wow.
Yeah, this stuff's old. This floor. 35 years ago, these buildings we're in better shape. And then when you get, you know what I've noticed? Like, I'm not saying people on state have no respect for stuff, but I've noticed state-funded buildings have turned to trash. They become slumlords, and stuff isn't fixed. Like if you rented a house, it's mind-blowing. Pisses me off. You treat it differently.
Yeah, it's same goes for this building. This building was instigated as social housing, I think. So it was all rent. But then they sold several apartments. It's starting to look better. You know, when people own the place, it's going to look better. They wanna take care of it more than when they just rent it. Usually.
Private property versus the tragedy of the commons.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, even though I think the majority of people owns their house, you know, in or their apartment in this building, I'm the only one taking care of the building. I'm the only one, you know, making it a nicer place by putting out plant boxes, picking up garbage.
That's good.
Yeah, because I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, we live here with like 1,000, with 100 numbers, with 100, how do you say, apartments. Come on, guys. It doesn't have to look like the ghetto.
Right.
But it will turn into a ghetto within 2 months. Dude. People will just leave their bikes and their mopeds and their garbage just anywhere, just as long as it is here. And if you don't clean it up, you know, it will only gather more garbage. And people would rather complain about it and call the city council than clean it up themselves. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to clean it up. Fuck that. You know, the city council is not going to come. Just clean it up. You know, don't be bothered with it. Don't bother other people with it. Stop complaining. Just do something about it.
Never judge a book by its cover. I've seen this video. This guy in Africa lived in a mud hut, but he spent 60 grand. And then when you go inside the mud hut, you couldn't even tell you're in a mud hut, man. It was like fucking awesome.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
That's the architecture style I want to start with. Is that Adobe Mud Hut style with the ability to add any type of luxury on the inside.
And I would dig an underground labyrinth. Like under the hut, I would have like a basement chill spot.
Definitely. Depending
I've
on
always
the,
wanted a home with like trick doors. If anyone wants to watch cool videos, watch the Airbnbs or whatever they're called. A lot of people are finding one guy, I think I sent the video. I should have downloaded it. One guy rented an Airbnb and he had his family and wife in the house. They're sitting in the living room they rented. All of a sudden the bookcase opens up and the fucking lady comes out and she goes, hello. And the guy goes, what are you doing here? She goes, I live here. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, you just appeared out of my bookcase, right? I mean, you just appeared out of a bookcase. In the contract, he said it didn't state that you were gonna be living here while I rented it, right? It's hilarious, man. The lady literally came out of the bookcase. Then there's another one.
It didn't say that in the contract. I like that.
Yeah. The guy was fucking tripping. And then another one where a lady's using the bathroom and they figured out the whole mirror opened up. Not because there was a double mirror. It opened up and there's a staircase behind the fucking bathroom mirror behind the sink that went up to the attic. But that's how they designed some of them houses down south. People were saying in the comments. But yeah, that's bugged out. Your bathroom mirror has a staircase behind it. That's kind of dope. Like, if someone was robbing your house or you wanted to hide, what better place? No one would suspect that.
Right. I mean,
That's dope.
It sounds like Wonderland, dude. Like a mirror, like a staircase behind the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, come in and search. You could hide people back there. Oh, come on in, police. Look, there's no one here. They're hiding behind your bathroom mirror and shit. Because you have to step up over the sink. You know, I'm trying to like explain this. That's why it would be unnoticeable. Because when you walk up to the sink, you got the sink and the regular mirror. And you have to step over that. You know, you have to open it up and then step over that to go up the stairs. So an average person would know nothing. They would be like, just the bathroom. No one here, nothing to see. But yeah, let me jump off of here, man. I got some stuff I got to do. Just get it over with. Maybe I'll go live later. I don't know, when I'm bored. But
okay, you can always come on when you're bored. I mean, we'll entertain you like you entertain us.
You should do another channel, boy, man. You know, I would go over there.
Another channel? What do you mean? I just have one.
Yeah, but you had your old one. You were going live and doing your thing, and then now since, you know, I haven't seen you go live. Maybe you have, and I missed it. But ever since it seems you had to like start over, you just, and I get it. I would lose enthusiasm too, man. I would feel defeated. I'd be like, fuck, man, these dicks.
Yeah, well, I don't feel that, but sometimes, I'm just not subscribed to what's it called, StreamYard anymore. So I just use the so I just
okay.
So I just do 20 hours per month.
There's ways around that. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
so
have to tell you behind the scenes, but
no,
anyway.
I found that way. I had some old account that I could use, and I linked it to my new account. So yeah, I picked up on that. I'm busy picking up rubbish. No, I'm not. I'm still not doing that.
I appreciate you guys coming up and
it's always a good hang out
joining
with
the
you
conversation.
and be what is. You know, I like
Yeah,
that.
thanks for having us up, Charles. It's always a good conversation. Boy, it's always good to hear from you.
Yeah, I was looking into them pictures you sent. Some of them are a little blurry, but that would be a very interesting book to really dive into.
Yeah, it's a study for sure. And I sent a picture of some of my books I'm storing in the back room. But yeah, I need to get some bookshelves. And it's like what I measured. It's like 52 feet of books that I need to shelve right now that are on the ground.
Have you read most of them?
No. Some of them are like old 1800s encyclopedias and histories of countries and stuff. And I'm slowly making my way through it. But I got a lot of old stuff from old guys, and it's like dry information, just textbook type material, and it really takes some effort to get through. But a lot of them are like kids books, the traditional kids books that, you know, that you want your kids to read, and a lot of classics, a bunch of like Shakespeare stuff, poems from famous authors. Yeah, just a well-rounded library.
Shit, maybe one day you could send me like 10 pages at a clip. Is there a lot to read in that book?
Oh, dude. We'd have to sit down with like a group, like a think tank type of thing, just to like unravel how to read the book.
Yeah, I could do private shit behind the scenes where we don't have to be on YouTube.
Yeah,
and we could fucking do it that way.
Yeah, and then
we gotta
research like little bits, like keys and ciphers, and then bring it back to the table and read through it again.
Yeah, I'm down one day. Set it up to do that. You have the time.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna jump off here. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, B. Thanks for coming up, man. Peace. Peace, everyone in the chat. Thanks for coming. And hope you have a good day. And I'll check you out next time, man. Peace.